Welcome to my first set of reviews. I'll be discussing Breakable Things by Katie Wismer and The Bring the Crown by Melissa de la Cruz. Let's get into it. Breakable Things by Katie Wismer is a poetry collection that has 4 sections called The Good Things, The Hard Things, The Empty Things, and The Things You Need to Hear. Just keep in mind that there are trigger warnings for discussions of mental health, alcoholism, that sort of thing when you're getting into the first this collection specifically. And for The Ring and the Crown, this is a romancy that is inspired by the King Arthur legend. There are trigger warnings for emotional and physical cheating, sickness, both alleged and legit, possible rape, manipulation, and near-death experiences. If you couldn't tell by how I went into depth about that, there will be spoilers ahead. In the context of reading Breakable Things, I just loved how direct and to the point Katie was when reading this. And between both books, this was released within the past couple of years. It makes sense. And honestly, it's especially as someone who was recently diagnosed with mental illness, I think it's refreshing to discuss that within various writing styles and genres. It was just very relatable. I appreciate that. I don't really have much to add outside of that. It was beautifully written. I recommend it to those who want something quick, easy, and digestible. So I was reading this book initially for a book club, and I got around 40% of the way through it, and I, at the time, couldn't get through it, so I just temporarily DNF'd it, and then eventually, when I saw that there was an option for me to read it for the Breath of the Wild Fun, which is what I had initially read the book for, specifically for the red and orange on the cover. In this case, there's predominantly red on the cover. I definitely thought it was 100% worth the read, especially with as much queer rep as there was in the book. The only real complaint that I have is that the world and the magic system behind it could have been explored further. And if De La Cruz chooses to release the sequel, I would love to have had that be explored a little bit more. I highly doubt that it's going to happen. It's been just over a decade ago, and of course, you liked the characters you were supposed to like, and you despise the characters who you despise, which is completely normal at this point. If you're that type of person who's in a similar position to me, you like retellings / books that are inspired by folklore, mythology, whatever the case may be, which in this case, as I said earlier, it was inspired by Arthurian legend. I know that there's other books that were inspired by Arthurian legend that has been released within the past decade since this has been released, but I enjoyed it. And if there's any books that are relatively similar, as well as really close friends who are both women essentially, comment them down below because I would love to read it.